Hey guys, how's it going today? I wanted to give you a little more in-depth update than I did yesterday with my little short video with my first deposit, or yesterday, day before yesterday. Um, Anyways, I wanted to show you what's going on, what I've done differently, and why I made those decisions. Anyways, what's happened so far is, let me see here. Um, what's happened so far is I've taken my money out of Betterment. Um, and I think I mentioned that in my first video. Betterment's great for those that just want to invest their money but don't want to think about it. That's about it. All Betterment really does, and honestly, it's really it's nice for automation if you just want someplace to automatically put your money and you don't want to learn anything at all, like literally anything at all. Because if you learn just any basics, like just what an ETF is, you understand what Betterment does. And it's just not worth paying them a quarter of a percent of your money every year. Oh, and even if you do all the referrals and get free management for that time, it's just they aren't doing anything except for buying ETFs. So, I mean, you can hop on Robinhood and purchase ETFs yourself, the exact same ETFs, the exact same ones. They're just Vanguard ETFs. That's all they really invest in because Vanguard has the lowest fees. Um, Anyways, long story short, I pulled out the money out of my Roth I had on Betterment and out of my in taxable account on Betterment. I didn't have much there. I only had $600 in there really, um, and I um, wow, I can't think. Sorry, I just deposited $600 into my Roth here on M1. It hasn't been invested yet since it's sitting here in cash. The 7 cents is what was left over from my previous deposit. Um, but yeah, so there's that. Secondly, I deposited $600 and I've also set up schedules to deposit $10 every day of the week, Monday through Friday. Those are the market hour days. Those are the only days that you can set up actually. Um, and since M1 automatically reinvest your money at the $10 mark, well, at least if you have it set up that way, and by default it is, um, then me depositing $10 a day not only allows me to constantly be contributing to my investing, it also kicks in and reinvests any dividends that I receive that day. So, I mean, this account, I only have 3 days on this account total, right? $500 invested the first day, and it ended up going up in value by 21 cents. Um, the second day, I invested $10 more for a total of $520, or sorry, $510, and it actually dropped in value because Wednesday was not a great day for all the stocks. Um, and then today it came back. I invested another $10 for a total of 520 invested, and it actually raised in value a little bit since yesterday's loss, and for a total gain of negative a dime in the last 3 days. I've lost a dime in value of my portfolio, um, and then I'm earned 6 cents in dividends. Now I haven't received that yet. That's just I own that stock on the X dividend date. Therefore, it is due to me on whatever payout date that company is. And I haven't even figured out which company's paying this dividend yet. That is one downfall I've found with M1, and it's not really a downfall because it's nice to know info. It's not need to know info. But like this 6 cents here, it says earn dividend 6 cents. That means one of my stocks that I own will is I is it again can't talk. It owes me 6 cents in dividends, and it's going to pay that out at a future date, which is normally somewhere between 2 weeks and a month later. So I'm guessing I'll get paid that next month, um, in October. Either way, my overall account value is down 4 cents from what I've invested. Let me see about that. I invested 520. 520. That's 20. That's 17 cents. Yeah, it's 6 cents, 7 cents, somewhere in there. It's a little different than that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out that difference there, I think. 519.93 was my net cash flow. Why? Oh, because this 7 cents right here. There's still 7 cents in cash. That's why that 7 cents is off. All right. So anyway, long story short, with the dividend that's due to me, I'm only down 4 cents for a total return of negative 0.01% on my investments, which is fine. We're talking a 3-day period here. This is a very, very short time frame. Um, so anyway, yeah, I did that with Betterment. The other thing is, I noticed, by the way, just yesterday, I got on Robinhood, and during the first hour of the market being open, and even a little bit before market, trading, um, I sold off all my stocks. So if I go to my Robinhood account, my total value is 35, 56, 65, but I have zero holdings. This is all watch list because once I removed them, it went back to my watch list. Um, so this is all cash that I am waiting to process through. Unfortunately, it's going to take me a week or two to get my money out of Robinhood. Um, because some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. Basically, when I sold the stocks, of course, there's a settlement period. So it's going to take 2 to 3 days for the money to settle from that sell and officially be back in my account, right? Um, I mean, if you look at my account, I could technically use that money and buy it, but that's because Robinhood just for sales and stuff will automatically give you that money to sell back, so they know the money's coming in. Excuse me. Um, anyway, long story short, um, yeah. So you'll see I have unsettled funds of $2,958.01. Then there's AML Holdings. AML Holdings is for money laundering, anti-money laundering holdings. So basically, they have to hold the money for a period of time before they can allow you that they have to hold deposited money for a certain amount of time before they'll allow you to withdraw it. This is to help prevent money laundering. Now, how this prevents money laundering in any way, shape, or form, I don't know, considering they have to pull the money from my bank account, which already has its money laundering stuff in it. I mean, what am I going to do if I have dirty money? I'm going to go deposit it in the bank? No. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't understand why they have to do this, but this sucks. If you look it up here on Robinhood, anti-money laundering, you can only withdraw funds to the original account from which they were deposited. If it's going to another account, it'll be 2 months. I looked in here and somewhere it told me the amount of days. Before you can withdraw your uninvested funds, your deposits need to stay in your account for a minimum of 5 trading days. Well, I just had 3 deposits go through basically the day that I sold all my stocks. So yesterday. So I'm not going to be able to sell those for 5 business days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I won't be able to withdraw my money until at least the 26th, probably the 27th, from Robinhood. And that's without touching it, buying any stocks, doing anything. So yeah. Anyways, so that's annoying. The other thing with Robinhood that I wanted to mention, guys, is one thing I've ran into, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but during that first hour of trading in the mornings, when the market opens, it gets rather laggy, and sometimes it'll kind of lock up on you. And I'm talking for anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds after you push a button to trade. And it's really annoying. And I've tried both the website and the app, and they locked up at the same time on me. The app is more smooth, of course, but it's a problem. I mean, if I'm trying to sell stock or buy a stock or something, you don't want it sitting there just hanging and not loading the website or the app, not processing it properly. So anyway, that's one thing I've noticed with Robinhood that's a little annoying. They need to work on their connectivity issues there a little bit better. Anyway, like I said, my schedule of deposits every day, $10 coming in. That averages out to 200 $250 a month, depending on how many days are in the month, um, which is cool. And it automatically makes sure that any dividends get paid or get reinvested the very next day, because my balance will be over to $10. Um, let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Companies added. As you can see, my pie is really jacked up. Starting to smooth out a little bit with today's deposit, and it'll smooth out a lot more with tomorrow's, since I'm gonna have 600, basically $610.07 that they'll invest, because I have a $10 deposit going in tomorrow. Um, but you can see these are overweight because I've reduced the percentage. I had these at 5% of my portfolios as a target originally, and I actually have 4.7. They're actually 4%, 4.7% of my entire portfolio at this point. So yeah, I've also added these three stocks, which I talked about in my little video day before yesterday, and then I just added all of these today. So if we go look at my pie, the average dividend has dropped down from almost 3.5 down to 3.095, but I've added more companies that I want to add in here. I have a total of 95 holdings in here. Um, in a single pie, I believe the max obviously is going to be 100, because the lowest percentage that you can assign is 1% from my experience. So of course you could have 100 companies and putting 1% of your money in each of these. Um, which is kind of my goal. And is this good to do? No, not necessarily. It's very diversified. I have all different sectors and all different kinds of companies and stuff in here. Um, but from my understanding, most people have better performance with only 20 or 30 stocks. The reason I'm doing this is because this is definitely going to be, this is my IRA, and it's something that I'm not going to be looking in the future in a way. Right now, I'm looking at it constantly, but in the future, I'm not going to be looking at this every day. And I want it to be very diversified and very stable over the long run. Um, Now, how did I pick these companies? Well, I mean, did I do my due diligence and go in the financial statements on all these companies? Of course not. I didn't do that with 95 companies, but I did do some research using like Dividend.com. I have their their 15-day trial, 10-day trial, whatever it is, so I could see their stats and how they did their research. I could look at dividend histories and how many years it's grown, its dividend, and all that good stuff. And every one of these companies, except for one, which I mentioned already, which was safe, um, but every one of these companies have grown their dividend for over many years. And I think the lowest one I've seen is 8 years, maybe 7, 8 years. Every one of these companies have grown their dividend every year during those. So, anyways, I kind of got carried away, but it is what it is, and I kind of like it. I'm kind of digging it to have 1% of each company in my portfolio and have an even 100 in here. I do have 95 at the moment, and so I have 5 slots open where I could reduce the target percentage for Southern and Altria, um, and put 5 more companies in there. Reduce that one by 4 and reduce that one by 1 to fit 1% of 5 more companies. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I'm kind of trying to leave those 5 open for companies that I find that I really, really want in the future. And so right now, 95 is good to go. And Southern has one of the best dividends, and it's one of the safer companies in the entire portfolio. So that's why it's got my highest percentage going. Um, and Altria is pretty decent as well. So, anyways, that's me adding companies and my kind of goal of having 100 companies in my portfolio. Um, Now, some of you are probably questioning and curious about how do you know what price you paid when they bought this stuff, since they only buy once a day. If you come in your activity tab, you'll see a little summary at the top, but you'll see these 2 days ago. This is my first investment. Shows the cash deposit $500. I had 75 purchases that day, and right here it'll show I bought 0.1431 shares of ABM at $34.94 per share, and I put $5 into that with $5. So $5 bought 0.1431 shares of ABM. The price it was when it was purchased was $34.94 a share, and you can tell that on all of your different companies. So you have an exact record of what you did, and I actually just copy those and I paste them over here for each day. You don't need to do this. I'm just a little meticulous, um, but you'll get a trade thing at the end of the year, and even at that, right now there's trade confirmations. You can come in here, and these PDFs right here are for each time that you did trades. And since I'm depositing every day, I'll get one of these every day, and it has the exact same details. So, and then of course at the end of the year you'll get a little report for your taxes. The only problem with this portfolio of 100 stocks is really just trying to keep track of who's paying a dividend, whose dividends are dropping, whether they drop their dividend completely or whether they reduce it. I kind of need to track what dividends I receive, and I will, but when I receive them, I need to probably compare them to the previous dividend and make sure they aren't dropping them and stuff. The other one is if they don't pay dividend at all, how am I going to know? So say, I hate that. That's why I sort by target. So say Nucor just doesn't pay a dividend this quarter, and they have for 8 years. How am I going to know that? Because I'm going to have in my history, they paid a dividend. I'm not even going to notice that New didn't pay a dividend unless I go check each one of these companies. So that's something I'm going to have to figure out. Yeah. So something I'm going to have to figure out. Wow, look at that pie, man. What was I looking at before? It didn't look that messy before. There we go. Oh, it's because I sorted it that way. Check that out. So that's my pie currently. Anyway, so that's something I need to figure out and deal with. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about M1 or dividend investing or whatever, feel free to comment and let me know. I'll get you an answer and go from there. I'm really excited about this. That 6 cents will be my first dividend since I moved to M1. What I'm really going to be excited about is when I get my $3,500 from Robinhood and I can deposit it in here. So I'll be at 1,100 and something right now. Yeah. So my value right now is $1,119.90. So basically $1,120 I've deposited in here. So if I can add 3,500 to that, that'll be 35, 45, 4,600. So 4,600, almost 5,000, almost be a full year's contribution to my IRA. The max you can deposit into an IRA in a year, for most people, will be $5,500. So that'll get me almost to the max, and then my $10 contributions daily should get me there. I'll have to figure out, make sure I don't go over that 5,500 there. And yeah, we'll go from there. Once I do max out my Roth, probably not this year, but once I do max out my Roth, I'll open up a taxable account with M1 as well. And I'll have a different pie on that one that's I'll probably have some more aggressive ones going in there in a smaller portfolio. I won't have no 100 in there. I'll probably have 20 to 30. So yeah, so that's my plan. If you have any questions, yell at me, let me know. If you like it, please like my video. If you want to see more of this, subscribe. And I hope you guys are all having a great day. Have a good one.